Hello and welcome to Stream Fiends. I'm Nat Towsen.
I'm Kate Agustin.
And today we're going to be discussing the Hulu original series, The Handmaid's Tale.
Nat.
Yes, Kate.
I'm depressed.
Yeah, I'm very anxious right now.
I was asleep before. That's how we let it happen. When they slaughtered Congress, we didn't wake up. When they blamed terrorists and suspended the Constitution, we didn't wake up then either. Now I'm awake.
Handmaid's Tale is based on the book by Margaret Atwood. The United States has kind of fallen apart. There's a fertility crisis. The environment is no good. All the fertile women are forced to become handmaids, and they are basically little baby incubators. They're delivered to the elite and powerful men. It's a kind of a right-wing Christian overlord situation.
Right, it seems like the government has crumbled and has been sort of replaced by a new regime in America that it's completely patriarchal and controls women as a form of power. So we're set in this world, and the story follows Offred, which is not her real name.
No.
All the handmaids have been given new names.
And
right?
the names are of whoever the man is. So her commander is Fred of Fred.
Right.
She's Offred.
We follow her, that's Elizabeth Moss, and her sort of internal struggle as to whether to give in, to speak out, to quietly wait out the entire struggle, or whether there's some way that she can rebel.
Probably one of the biggest things that make the bile in your stomach rise up when watching it is the ceremony, which is one of the really big parts of this show. So these handmaids that are delivered to the men, they have to have babies. But the way they have the babies, to make it seem like it's still like beautiful and holy, is that the handmaid lays down between the legs of the wife. The wife grabs the handmaid's wrist, and then the man has sex with the handmaid, but looks at the wife so that it's like we're having sex at the same time. It's very disturbing.
Yeah, there's a really disturbing shot of the wife's head just sort of like slowly shaking with the movement of the bed. It's upsetting.
As far as like staying true to the source material and like really doing justice to it, I think they're doing a fantastic job. It's really incredible to watch this after reading the book. It's building it out in a way that is scarier than reading the book in some ways, I think.
And you know, the book again was published in 1985. In the TV world, this sort of fertility crisis only happened in between 2010 and 2015, I think. There are references to Uber and Tinder, and like we know that this is right now, or it was a year ago, these flashbacks. What makes it extra scary is that the idea that this happens very quickly. That
so quickly, yeah.
It could happen within a few years, and that the world that they live in seems so different, but also our world is so recent. Overall, it's very well produced. The set design is fantastic.
Gorgeous. They kind of like evoke old world decor. There's a lot of like tapestries, and like the rooms look luxurious. There's like libraries, and then you'll see every once in a while like a computer or something that reminds you that it is the modern world.
Usually voiceover narration bothers me because it's just a lazy way to insert exposition into a show. You can just say, here's the backstory, or here's what this character is thinking, and the character actually literally tells you what they're thinking. I think that's a lazy thing for writers to do. I also think that when you're adapting a book with a first-person limited perspective, wherein it's told from one character's perspective very tightly, it would be very hard not to have voiceover.
Yeah.
And so they have her provide some exposition and some backstory, but what they do really well is it also swaps to stream of consciousness. The whole show, she's repressing these thoughts that she's not supposed to have, and we get to hear them. We hear them in the moment, and it's not her saying, and then I thought, it's we just hear her speaking, and it really brings us into her perspective. I think it works really well.
I think it works great. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I know that Margaret Atwood's book has been called a masterpiece, and I think the fact that this show is happening right now and it's so well produced, I would say maybe it's a masterpiece. It's really good.
To your point, this is a really prescient show. They recognize a lot of parallels in modern society to what was going on in the novel, and that all this stuff was, you know, for some people very apparent, but for a lot of people under the surface. I'd say it's well acted, it's well shot, well produced in general, and it came at a really important moment. It's well written. It's not your typical streaming show. It's not a show that got shoved on Hulu because it couldn't find an audience on TV or they didn't think it was that good. This is a very well-made show, and it's one of the best streaming original shows that I've ever seen.
I agree. If you're not watching the show, you should be. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Stream Fiends. I'm Kate Agustin.
And I'm Nat Towsen.
Please join us next week. We're going to be watching the Netflix original series, Dear White People.
See you then.